Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. Good evening and good morning to all. My name is Ahamika and I'm your Learning Success Manager for today. Before we proceed with the session, please give me a quick confirmation if my voice is loud and clear to everyone. You can confirm me in the chat box, please. Okay, thank you so much for the confirmation. So let me do a quick audio check with our trainer. Hi sir, good evening. Is my voice loud and clear to you?
Hello, Ahamika. How are you? Yes, your voice is loud and clear.
I'm fine sir, how are you?
Good, good. Yes, I'm good. Thank you.
So I'm giving you the presenter access sir and you can start the session.
Sure,
Thank you.
I'll do that right away. Yeah, got the access. Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing good and you are enjoying learning our. Yes, okay, great, great. So definitely there's a long way to go, but yes, the journey is going to be exciting for sure. Okay, great. So let's start. Or should we wait for there are some more people to join in? So I'll do is I'll just quickly share my screen and then we'll just discuss a couple of things that we discussed yesterday and then continue. So yesterday what did we do? We had done dates. Yes, we did dates. We started with dates, right? Yeah. So we'll repeat dates today because I just want to complete date and time together, right? So what did we do yesterday? A quick recap. We started with basic data types, numeric, integer. We did character. We did, right? So who will tell me how do we create an integer variable? What do we do specially to create an integer variable? Let me see who remembers that. Exactly. Yes, Idris, you're right. We add, and those who are not able to recall, let me quickly. This is how you create a integer variable, right? Are you able to recall? Yes. Okay, great. So, and all of you would also recall when we multiply a integer with integer, I'm going to get a integral value, right? Class. Can you see class of integer 6L? 6L by 4L is 24. But it's going to be a integer only, right? But if I multiply integer with a numeric, it's going to come numeric. Similarly, if I multiply integer with a decimal, it's going to come numeric, right? Clear? Okay. Character, we had done character, right? So nchar, we did nchar, right? What is, we call it nchar. Nchar means it's going to count the number of characters in the variable, right? So nchar x is going to be 11 hello world. Along with this blank, it's going to count. Hello has 5, world has 5, and plus this blank 11. Okay. Similarly, even if I have a blank at the start, z, by it is going to count this blank as well. Okay. Okay. Nchar applied on a number, it's going to count, give you a count of the digits, right? Okay, it can even count a negative symbol as well. Negative, yeah, symbol, right? So now let's quickly start with dates. Okay, date. You won't. I mean, date is one of the most trickiest of the data type to be handled in any of the tool, right? One of the most trickiest. Can you tell me why? Why do you think date is more tricky? Let me see who can try and answer this. Why do you think handling date is tricky and difficult? Not difficult, but tricky. You have to be very careful. Anyone? Very good. Gaurav, can you elaborate? Date for excellent. Yes, Pungori, you're right. I think Gaurav also meant the same thing. Date formatting can be very different. If you all of you know Excel, right? You said yesterday, right? And if you can recall, even in Excel, when you check for the formatting, right? It's really difficult to. I mean, it's there are so many formats. American format is different. UK format is different, right? Some people write date with dash. Some people write date with slash. Some people write months before. Some people write days before. Some people write year before, right? So date is actually a very tricky variable to handle. Vishal, can you please put this in the private chat window? Vishal, sorry, public chat window. Vishal has put a message. Because Vishal, it's very important that whatever you communicate with me, put it in the public chat window. There is no issue. You can put this very well. I'll give you an honest answer. I mean, the most appropriate answer that I can give. So Vishal has joined today's the class today only. Sir, I'm new to the class today. Would you please share the data that you present? Any G Drive link, if any time duration? Vishal, uh, see, we are already in the third session, and we have already started working on RStudio, right? Yesterday. So if you can catch up, I would suggest you to please go through the recordings of the previous two sessions so that you have a good hang of statistical basics of statistics, right? And the fundamentals of. You've gone through the previous sessions, great. Then you would have downloaded RStudio also. Okay, some people have joined today. Dipali, you have also joined today only? Then yesterday we were doing Tableau means? Who was doing Tableau yesterday? Why is so much confusion there? I'm from 3rd October batch, okay. Left in the middle due to fever. Okay, that's okay. Those who left, I mean, fever is not, I mean, but right now the confusion is Dipali, Dipali did, what's, what's the confusion, Dipali? See, quickly get it sorted. This is a R Studio, R data analytics with R. Yes, quickly, can you quickly ask because we have to cover a lot of content. So please quickly let me know what exactly is your confusion and if I can get it sorted or we can get it sorted so that we can get started with work. Dipali, I think you on Monday you were teaching our program. Yes, on Monday yeah, Monday we start. No, we started Monday with this, and Monday we did. On Monday we did fundamentals of statistics. Yeah, Tuesday I was not available. Yes, yes, correct. Are you from this batch only? Dipali, are you from this batch only? Then why did you write Tableau? I did not get that. Why are you confused about Tableau? This is not Tableau. Okay, so let's continue, right? Please refrain from putting any comments that create confusion, right? I don't know where from Tableau came in. Anyways, right? So we'll just start. Okay, so we are going. So I was on dates, right? So every country sometimes, I mean, you'll see many countries would have their own uh, way of writing dates, right? That is why dates is a very confusing. Sometimes months are written in character variables, right? All of you know we write months, sometimes dates are written like 22nd Jan, right? So, and every time when you bring in data from databases, right, you'll find that date may not be consistent. That is why I said it is not just in R that date is tricky to handle or manage, but in every other tool you will find, whether it's a data visualization tool or a machine learning tool, date is a bit tricky to handle. But at the same time, it's not difficult. Okay. Yeah, Rahul. Yesterday the community forum was down, right? I'm already connected to the team there, right? It should, if it is working today, I will definitely upload. Don't worry, you will get all the files. Okay, just have patience for today, right? I hope it should be sorted today. Yesterday the community forum was down, that's why I could not upload. Okay, is that okay? Sorry. Right? Can I continue now? Right? Okay. So we are going to start with dates in base R. See, base R is when you are not working with any package, right? In base R, date is, there is a default format of date, of writing date, that is YYYY dash dash mm dash dash dd, right? So let's see. I'll write as dot date. Let's see. Are you seeing how I take help? How can you take help? Right? Question mark with whatever you want to know. You just put that uh, command, right? Or put that syntax, right? See, right? As dot date, and if you will see, it says the format is YYMMDD, right? You write this way also, but this is the only format that date will, base R will take. Okay, is that clear? Right? So now what we are going to do, but we know that date comes in different format, right? So, but base R is has very limited features when it comes to date. So there is a package specifically meant to handle dates. It's called LubriDate. I have created a module on that and I'm going to share that, but I do not have time to cover that in this. If we complete the course on time, right, I'm going to spend maybe last half an hour on LubriDate. Otherwise, you will be confident enough after a couple of more sessions, you'll be confident enough to handle to go through the notes of LubriDate and manage the date on your own. I'll show you but this, and I'm going to share that with all of you. Just a second. There you go. Okay. So advanced date and time. This is the module I have created. It contains package LubriDate, right? LubriDate. Can you see? Right? And you, in couple of, maybe I think after tomorrow's session also, if you get time, do go through this. You will be able to manage it, right? I will share this as well. Otherwise, if I get time, I will definitely continue spend some time on it. Okay. So let's start. I want you to create couple of dates with base R. I think we did this yesterday. We created some dates. Yes? Okay, great. So once you created the date yesterday, let's, those the dates that you have created, right? Either you can create it by dash or you can create it by slash, right? Once you create the date, check the class of the date. Let me also create a date. Let me create this date. And notice when you create a date, notice how it is saved in the global environment. Get into the habit of checking when you create a variable, get into the habit of checking it in the global environment. Notice it is saying UTC time, right? Right? And these are the dates that have been created, right? These two, sorry, not the third one, these two. Okay? Okay, great. Now let's check. Now if I ask for date, it's going to give me the date. Check the class. What it is coming? What the class is coming? Date, right? Let's, if you want today's date, you will pass this command sys.date. Try this. Notice the first S is capital and then D is capital. Okay. After that, when you pass date, when you pass date into a as dot numeric argument, right? As dot numeric date, it's going to give you some number. Yes. Try this as dot numeric, put a date. This number 17,345 is the count of days since 1/1/1970. And this 1/1/1970 is the day when Unix time system was introduced. To know more about Unix time system, you can Google it. And that is why this is the same number you are going to get even in Excel. Remember, in Excel also date can be turned into some number, saved as number, right? It is the same Unix time system which started on 1/1/1970 and which give you this numeric value. Is that clear? Yes, to all of you, right? So now this gives you a very good edge. You know why? Because after this, now once you once you convert a date into a number, you can easily get the difference between the two dates, right? So I want you to quickly write two dates. Either you can write these dates, line number 116 and 117, and then try this difference between the dates quickly. And when you're done till 119, just type 119 in the chat window. You can try any different two dates and see how you get the difference. And once you're done, let me know. Okay, great. Idris has done. So you got the difference. So if I save two variables, yeah, if you pass the same dates, if you write the same dates, 1476 is going to be the output, right, for line number 119. Okay, great. So let's can I continue to date and time now? Can we continue to date and time? Okay, great. So let's talk about time now. Now this we have seen dates. Now for time, POSIX CT is a format that is followed in R. This is again some time format, date and time format. To know more about it, you can read on Google, right? Description of the classes. This represents calendar dates and time, right? So pass the command POSIX CT. POSIX is in caps and then CT is in small, right? And when you write this date into this date and time, it's going to convert the this entire text into date and time. Okay, so start. Let's write this date and use POSIX CT to convert it into date and time. So when I ask date to, it will come out as a notice IST written, Indian Standard Time, right? There are many time zones, but it is going to pick up the local time zone. So quickly do this. Maybe I'll put date 5 here. So this is our third lecture, right? Yes, Dipali, this is the third lecture. And quickly, can we do it? After you write these two dates, when you pass these dates with as dot numeric, you get some number, and this number is actually this number is really bigger than the earliest number, right? So can you tell me what is this number? Anyone would want to estimate? Try to. These are the number of seconds since 1170:00 midnight. So since then, these are the number of seconds that have passed. Is that clear? So this way you can definitely get the difference in seconds, right? In terms of time, and then of course you can convert it into um minutes or hours. I mean, whatever you want, right? Is that clear? What these numbers represent? Okay. Okay. Then, as I said, Lubridate is a package that really handles date very well, and it's a very easy to learn package, right? So, but we'll see if we can cover it. It's not part of our curriculum, but I have created a content around it, so I will definitely share it with all of you. What, Gaurav, what last thing? I just mentioned that Lubridate is the package that is used to handle dates. That was the last thing I mentioned. And before that, we just use as dot numeric. Yeah. Why are we using as dot, Ranjit? Ranjit, it's the syntax. As dot numeric means convert this into a number. As means convert it as date as a number. So it's a syntax, right? It's written that as a syntax. Is that okay, Ranjit? As dot means convert this date as a number, as a numeric into a numeric variable. Is that clear, Ranjit? Okay, great. Let's proceed. We have used it with POSIX CT. So POSIX as dot POSIX CT means convert it into a as as dot means convert it into as a POSIX CT date. Convert this. If I write this, it will not be a date. If I just simply write this, it will not be a date. You have to convert it into a date using as dot POSIX CT. In fact, you did not realize as dot date. We use as dot here as well. If I just simply write this, it will not be taken as a date. It will be taken as a string. See, let me J1, right? Let me put it in double quotes. 2022-07-01. Same, right? Now, can you see J1? Let's ask class of J1. Got it? So to convert this into a a date variable, we write as dot date, and on that same logic we are using as dot POSIX CT and as dot numeric. Okay, great. Let's proceed. Now, logical data type. The next data type we are going to do, the last one is logical data type, right? So logical data type is of the type true false, right? We all know logical data type, right? True false is a logical data type, right? So, and what is the value of true? I did discuss it earlier. What is the value of true? 1. What is the value of false? 0. So, if you multiply true with 5, it's going to give you 5. If I multiply t with 7, it's going to give me 7. T also means true, right? Similarly, false will be taken as 0. You can multiply it with a number. It might look strange, but this can be, it will take a numeric value. It will take a logical value, 0 and 1. Okay? Quickly do it. 10. Let's assign a variable. Let's create a variable k and assign a value, logical value to it, true. Let's assign a value true to it. And then check the class of k. What does it come out to be? Logical, right? Next, is dot logical other way of checking the class. I'm already saying, is this logical? What answer should I get? What output should I get for line number 165? Let's see. Let me see who can tell me. Is logical? It should be yes or true. It should be true, right? So all of you can check it. Comes out to be true. If you remember, I told you T and F are reserve words. Yes? So avoid using T and F, even though R is going to create it. R will create a T variable, but later on it might get confused, and if suppose this variable is saved, right? See, T means true. Now when I save this, and if I again ask T, now it is giving the value of true T as 345. It is not giving the value of T as true, right? So you can create it, but even you yourself might get confused whether meant true or it meant a actually a number or the variable, right? So always refrain, always avoid using T and F. Okay. So class of, if I check now the class of true, it comes out to be numeric. class of f comes out to be logical because I have not saved it, right? Now when I do this, now class of f will be character. So let's not create these confusions. So I am going to remove these variables from the global environment using the command rm true t. Now when I check the value of t, it is going to be true only. Class will also be logical because I have removed these. Similarly, remove false, remove back. Okay, don't use, just keep it as a thumb rule. Don't use T and F. Okay. Okay. Can we proceed? Checking the equality now. Line number 185. Double equal to. Remember I told you we are going to use double equal to. Double equal to means exactly equal to. 3 is 3 exactly equal to 54? What should be the answer? I am checking it. I am checking the equality by putting double equal to. So answer should be false. Now similarly, this is not equal to 34, not equal to 33. Answer should be true. Clear? So next, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and then character also. Notice you can data less than statistics, answer would come out to be true. Now it is just placing these in the order of alphabetically, and then checking the logical condition. Okay, is this clear? Now we are getting into, till here, what you really would really want to take away is the data types, the understanding how the data types, what are the data types, right? But now as we proceed to further, it becomes all the more, things are becoming more and more important. Vectors and factor is a very important fundamental module or fundamental concept. So please, how can we rename the file? Go to file, save as, okay, or double click on file name, just the way you do it, F2, click and edit, the same way as you do it. Okay. Okay. Can we start vectors and factors? So vectors and factors, can we start with vectors and factors? Can we get the whole write-up as per mentioned in the text? I will be sharing these files. You want the write-ups? I will be sharing these files. Okay, don't worry on that. You want this write-up? Yeah, don't worry. I will be sharing these files. Each and every file will be shared. It's just that the community forum was not working. Today I'm going to share these files, right? So don't worry on that. Okay. So what you do is, you when you are doing it, write the codes that you want. Need not be as structured as my file. It is very structured along with the explanations of each and every command. So you need not write the comments. If you want to write comments, you can write it as per your understanding. These are very mature content. I took years to build these, right? So each and every explanation will be there, right? It is like a book, like you're reading a book with the explanations, right? So I will be sharing all these, but as and when I get access to community forum, I'll be sharing. Okay, you can keep on writing your comments and create your own files. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Vectors and factors. Okay, remember, if you in the first stage, this data type, there are some advanced data structures. Now we are going to start with advanced data structures, and I'm going to start with vector, factor, list and array. I'm not going to cover. Okay, and I am going to give you the content for these modules for list and array. I would want you to cover these on your own, because these are not going to be much helpful for data analytics. So we are not covering it, but I will definitely share it whenever you get time, maybe on a weekend. Just go through it. These are very small modules. Okay, so you can go through list and arrays. I'll be covering rest everything because they are very important from the perspective of data analytics. Okay, great. So let's start with vectors. Okay, another thing, I don't know if you have figured it out or not. When you have multiple tabs, control tab to navigate between them, control tab. Okay, if you have multiple tabs open, you can use control tab to navigate between them. Okay, let's start with vectors and factors. What are vectors? Take vector as an empty container. Vector is a container that holds multiple elements of the same data type. Is that okay? Notice, yeah, that's the scientific, that's the science definition. Having a direction and some distance, right? Both magnitude and direction, correct, right? It's the same thing, right? Vectors, you can take it as containers that hold multiple elements of the same data type. Are you getting this? Very important. I am not saying by heart it, but understand it. Okay? It can contain multiple elements of the same data type only, right? Most common vector modes means the data type here, are, that is, modes are the data elements type it holds, are character, logical, numeric, integer. So basically, these data types, right? These data types, the basic data types can be included in vectors. Okay? Okay. Vectors return a one-dimensional array. Vectors are a one-dimensional array. Is that clear? Means it will be an array that will have only one row of data, something like that, right? So it can be created, vector can be created with a small c. Can you see this? I am going to create a vector x. Let's create a vector x with a small c, and then put some numbers in it using comma, right? And when I run this, notice how this is going to be saved in global environment. After you notice, just take a look at on the screen and then you can create it, right? Let me save this. Let me run this in global environment. Can you see in the end? This is how a vector is saved in the global environment. Notice couple of things. Vector elements are visible. The data type is also there, numeric, and this in box bracket 1 is to 5 means the positions of the elements in the vector. Positions are from 1 to 5. Is that clear? Is this clear to all of you? Right? So let's create a vector x. Let's create a vector x. Once you have created it, let's call the value of x and look for the output in the console. Are you getting a similar output? So as I mentioned, vector is created with a small c followed by data in the brackets. C stands for combine. C stands for combine. Okay. Mode of vector x here is numeric because these were numbers we have passed, right? Okay. Now, if I pass this argument in line number 20 or 19, you can also create vector using the word vector, but of course, when it can be created with C, who is going to write vector? Isn't it? But still, there is an option you can do that, right? If you can create an empty vector by passing the commands in line number 19 and 20. Can you see? You can try this. Let me create a vector y and notice when you ask the value of y, what it gives you? It's a null vector, means it's an empty vector. It does not have any element. Okay. So vector, you can create an empty vector like this. The other way to create a vector, as I said, you can create a vector by using the command vector and character. I mention character and then I mention the length. So when I pass this line number 27, notice I have created a empty vector which holds 4 character, you can say placeholders. Okay. So here I mentioned the data type and then I mentioned the length of the vector. So create it, just try creating it and also check the global environment. You should have a vector created just like I have created in the global environment. Try doing it. This way you can create an empty character vector. Similarly, you can create an empty character vector as in line number 29. Try doing 27 and 29. Write line number 27 and 29. Once you're done till 29, try 31 as well. And once you're done with 31, type 31 in the chat window. So did you notice what did you create in line number 31? Vector with all the elements initialized at 0. Right? Similarly, try for logical. What should it come without writing? Without, sorry, running, can you tell me what should it come? Logical 4? Correct. Once you have done till 33, all those who have done till 33, type 33 in the chat window. I'll wait for people to complete, those who are, still writing. Okay, great. So we can proceed, right? Okay, great. So we have a vector x, right? Let's call the value 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? I can multiply, add, subtract, divide, power, and square root. I can do all of these. Try doing all of these on x. Once you're done till 44, type 44. Okay, great. Next, I can create a vector with a sequence of numbers, right? It's like whole numbers, right? Or yeah, whole numbers primarily, or natural numbers you can say, right? Or in fact, I would say integers, which goes in the negative territory also, right? So I can create a vector. I can create a sequence with integers using a colon, right? Either I can pass it 1 colon 20, or similarly I can use sequence 1 comma 20. Okay, so this is going to give me a sequence of numbers with a step of 1. Step of 1 means difference between two numbers is going to be 1. But if I want the sequence to be any number other than 1, I will have to pass another argument in this command sequence by adding the third value, line number 52. See, I created a table of 2. Okay. Next, once you have created the sequence, let's create a vector C which has elements from 1 to 25 using just simple colon. This is just an add-on. I mean, you have already created 1 to 20. Okay, let's, since I've written it, you can create it. Let's create a vector B wherein the sequence is reversed. I can create it by passing 10 to 1 also, right? I can also do it 10 colon 1. Okay. I can go into the negative territory also to create vectors. Line number 66, line number 61 and 66. Quickly do it. And when I ask the class, it's it comes out to be integer. Okay. Quickly, once you have done till 67, type 67 in the chat window. Okay, great. Now I want you to create two vectors, x1 and y1, just the way I have created it. Okay, anyone who's, if you're writing, let me know. I can wait. I might push you, but I am not going to leave you. Okay, I might push you, just, and the purpose of pushing you is simply to put you out of the comfort zone. Okay, so that you start picking up faster. Okay, because we have a long way to go. So don't worry, I am not going to leave you. People, those who have done till 67, quickly can you type 67 in the chat window? Okay, great. So good. Next, once you're done till 67, create two vectors x1, y1, just the way I've created in line number 71 and 72. Once you create these vectors, notice that both these vectors have same number of elements, right? 11. Check x1 and y1 in the global environment. You will see 1 is to 11, means 11 elements are there. When you have vectors which are having same element, I can add them. If I add them, notice what will happen. When I add them, first element is going to be added to first element, second element will be added to second element, and so on till the last element. Is that clear? What will happen? Is that clear? So similarly, if you subtract it, the subtraction will take place element wise. Similarly, I can multiply it, I can divide it, and I can also create a power of it, right? Means exponential. Dipali, what did you not understand? Okay, I'll repeat, Dipali. What I'm saying is, when I have two vectors which have same number of elements, subtraction is same in 15. Yes. Kamalpreet, just check. If I subtract 10 from 25, 11 from 26, sorry, 25 from 10, 11, 26 from 11, what will come? Right? Yeah, it's same, of course. Yeah, okay. Okay, Deepali, I'm saying when you have the same count of elements in the two vectors and you add them up, you will add the first elements of both, second element of both, and so on till the last element of both, and you will get a output. Check. Dipali, 10 plus 25, 35. 11 plus 26. Dipali, 11 plus 26, 37. Got it? Similar way, this is just addition. You can also do subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponential as well. Okay, that is what I just discussed. I can use the command length, and it is going to give you the count of the elements in the vector. Is that clear? Length, everything is in small. Length is going to give you the count of elements in the vector. Okay. Now let's create three vectors A, B, C. Create the same vectors that I'm creating in line number 91 to 93. I want all of you to create these vectors. Notice there are two different ways I have created the vector. One is using colon, one is using C. And get me the length of A, B, and C quickly. From 91 to 97, you have to write. Got it? What is the length of ABC? 10, 2, and 3. Very good. So I can do, okay, let me first ask the value of A, B. Let's talk of A and B. Length of A is a multiple of length of B? Answer my question. Is length of A a multiple of length of B? Yes. In such cases, when the vectors have different length and it is a multiple, now notice how the addition will take place. Everyone please notice and then write. 1 will be added to 1. 2, second element will be added. Now I don't have a third element. Now again the first element from the smaller vector is going to be added to the next element. Then this 2 will be added to 4. Are you getting it? And so on till the last. Did you get it? Where what will happen if I do A plus B? Do it and quickly check if you are getting, you are able to make sense of the output quickly. I am taking case by case. First is when it is multiple. Okay, only if it is multiple. I am coming to when if it is not multiple. That is why we created the third. We created C. Okay. Is it clear? So if I call A plus B, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 8, 8, 10, 10, 12. Right? Everyone is getting the same? Now, how many elements in C? 3. Is C a multiple? Is A a multiple of C? Is the number length of A a multiple of length of C? No, right? Even in that case, addition will happen. The same way addition will happen. First will get added to first, second will get added to second, third will get added to third. Then first will get added to fourth, second will get added to fifth. Got it? But with a warning. Can you see the warning? Is that clear? It's not an error. Warning, Kamalpreet. Warning does not mean a error. It means a warning message. Is warning a error even in real life? So you can't say warning is some error. Warning means just be aware. It is giving you additional information. Just be cautious. Clear? Okay. So got it? How does length works? Now logical comparison can also be made. Okay, who is this? Capital C Ranjit. Capital C. Factor can be created, sorry, vector can be created with a small c. Okay, can we proceed? I can do a logical comparison also of A and B. Exactly the same way logical comparison will happen, just the way we added it. Are you getting it? A is greater than B, I'm asking. So what will happen? Let me write A and then let me write B. So my question, my logical comparison was A greater than B. Is A greater than B? In first, false. Second, false. Now, how will it happen? It will be written 1 under 3, 2 under 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. And then the comparison will happen. Is that clear? Everyone got it? How this will happen? A greater than B, right? And you will get the answer accordingly, false or true. Is that clear? Yeah, same way. I told you, no, I started with the same thing. Same way, just the way addition happened, it will happen the same way. So, is the output clear to all of you? False, false, true, 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 true. Right? Okay, great. Similarly, you can try B greater than A. B greater than equal to A. Any A greater than B means is any of the element of A greater than B? Answer is going to be true. If any of the element of A is greater than B, answer is going to be true. See, any of the element greater than B. Of course, B is going to be duplicated. 1, 2, 1, 2, all these are greater. Okay? Write it till 111 and then we are going to start with vectorization of character variable. Once you're done till 111, write 111 in the chat window. Okay, great. Very good. Vectorization of characters. Now, we have seen vectorization of numeric till now. You can also create a vector for character variable. I told you, right? So let's create a vector. All of you can create it. But since these are lot of words, I'm just sharing it with you. So you can create these. What I've done is only put the character in double quotes. They can also be in single quote as well. So if I write continent in single quote, that will also be working. That will also work fine. Okay. And when you ask the output of this Q variable, it comes out to be this. Now, can you tell me what are these numbers 159? No, these are not column numbers. These are position of the elements. See, year is in fifth. Yeah, it's the index. Correct. It's the index of the characters. Is that clear? Okay, great. So this displayed at the start of the line is the count of the elements or the index. As you said, it can be different depending on the screen width. Notice if I reduce the width, right, and I again call Q, notice how it is changing. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, right? So the position of the elements will remain same, but according to the width available, you'll see a different number according to the width and the elements that are coming in the first column. Accordingly, the number will change. Is that clear? N char Q is going to count the characters used in each element of the vector. Characters used in each words or each characters. Sorry, each words. Pungodi, I'm saying you wanted me to repeat this, right? These positions, right? I'm saying if the space was less, right? The width was different. Notice earlier 159 was written in the output. Now it's written 13579 because the space was less. So you got the third element in the as the first. You got the third element as the first position in the second row. Is that okay? So accordingly, 3 came here. See, this is the third element in the vector. So accordingly, the position is going to come. Got it? Okay, Q is equal to 9. Who is saying this? What is this? Q is equal to 9. What does this mean? Index. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Q, you can't say Q is equal to 9, na? Index is 9. Oh, you meant N char Q. Yeah, yeah, then mention N char Q, na? You are saying Q is equal to 9. N char Q is going to give you the characters used in each element of the vector. Is that clear? Can we proceed? Okay, next. A very important thing that you should remember, and most of the learners they tend to forget this, but do remember it. I every time tell this to the learners. Every variable that you create is technically a vector with a single element. So if I create a variable s and it is having a value of 45, it is technically a vector. That is why if you call the value of s, notice 1 is written here. It is the position of this number in the vector. Okay, so technically any variable created is a vector only with a single variable. Okay, with a single element, sorry. Is this clear? Can we continue? Okay, great. Now, all of you know what this box bracket has now? It contains the position or the index of the element, right? So using that box bracket, I can pull the number also, right? So if I know my A is this, my A is 1 to 10. Can I get the fourth position? A4. I can also get multiple, I can get the position of multiple elements, right? Line number 139. Try 136 and 139. I'll just be back in a minute. Try line number 136 and 139. And once you're done till 139, create a sequence like this. I'll just be back in a minute. Line number you have to write. We have already done. Okay, you have to write line number 146. Check the output and then create sequence in vectors. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, done. 153 done. Are you done till 153? Am I audible or are you writing? Okay, great. Thanks. You can name the vector also. Name the elements of the vector like this. So if I name 1 has a element A, 2 has an element of B, 3 has an element of C. Do this 157, 159, and then 16. Notice that in line number 157, I have used equal to within the brackets, right? So equal to, I mean, it is advisable, or you can say it is preferred within the R community or R experts, that you don't use equal to while assigning a value to variable. Rather, equal to is used within the brackets. Is that clear? Use equal to within the brackets. Outside the bracket or assignment is done using assignment operator, which we are already doing it, right? What is the shortcut of assignment operator? Are you using the shortcut? Are all of you using the shortcut? What is the shortcut of assignment operator? Alt, very good. Alt and underscore, right? Very good. Yeah, you can say that, Purva. 1, 2, 3. Not indices, I would say names rather. Names. You can create the names. Okay. Okay. Using names function, also I can create the names like this. Oh, I did not create this U. I can create a U variable, line number 163, and then using names function, I can create the names of names for the vectors. Once done till 167, type 167. Those are done till 167. Create a vector. Okay, I'll share this. Let's create a vector W with the name of cities. I've shared this because there are too many cities. I mean, there are some cities. It will take some time for you to write, so I'm sharing it. Okay, only for saving some time. Okay. So create a vector W which has the names of these cities, right? Once you do this, I can add, this is how I can extend the vector W2. Notice with C, using C, I can mention the previous vector W and add more cities to W and create a vector W2. Try line number 177 and see if you are able to add more cities to W, or sorry, more cities to, yeah, W only. What is happening in this? Okay. Who will tell What is happening? Ranjit is asking what is happening in this line number 163. Let me see who can answer this. Creating a vector that holds the elements 1 to 4. Yeah, we are C stand for combine or concatenation also. Yes, Vishal, I told you earlier. So C means creating a vector 1 to 4, combining. It's not a empty vector. Shakti, it's not a empty vector. See, empty vector means will not have any elements, no? But we have 1 to 4. Okay. Okay. Now length. You have created the vector W and W2. Did you create W2? How many of you created W2? Type W2 in the chat window. Okay, those who have created W2, quickly try length and class for length and class. Did you check? Yes, length is 12. Class is character. Yes, character. Class is character. Okay. So all of you got an idea about how vectors are created? What all operations can you apply on vector? Yes. Okay. Let's proceed to next. Factor. Now this is even important than vector. I'm not saying vector is not important. I'm saying understand factor very well. Okay. So we have done vector. We are doing factor now. Then we are going to start with matrix and data frame today. Okay. We will do matrix and data frame. So let's start with factor. Factor is a are of two types. Factor can be include factor can include two types of variables. One, categorical nominal and ordered categorical variables. Categorical variables that form some categories. So majorly factors are actually, if you see, they are character variables, but they form some category. The character variable that forms some category of data. Is this clear? What does factor include? Character variable, but we are going to convert it into a factor variable for specific purpose, for the reason that it is it can be a categorical variable. For example, names, cities, cars, all these are categorical variable. Everyone with me? Categorical nominal. Second type of factor is ordered categorical. Remember ordered? Nominal we did when we did different types of measurements, right? Scales, right? Ordered categorical means categorical variable, but it can be put in some logical order. These two rank, very good, rank, grade, right? All these will be considered as factors. Is that clear? So factor will include two things. I'm repeating, categorical and ordered categorical, right? So let's create a fact. Oh, okay, one more thing. Factors are crucial in R because they determine how the data will be analyzed and presented visually. Okay. Factor are crucial in R because they determine how the data is analyzed and presented visually. So let's create a factor variable. Let's create a let's create a vector called status. Line number 194. Let's create a vector called status and make sure you have the same elements. It's created the same vector. You create the same vector. 194. Create a vector called status and check the class of this vector. What it comes out to be? Character. Very good. So by default, when you use a string variable, the data type comes out to be character. You have seen it, right? To convert this into a factor variable, we use the command factor. Now, in line number 198, factor variable is being created or status is converted into a factor variable. And I mention if I think order should be there, I mention ordered equal to true. Okay, now when I do this, when I run this and I call the value of status, look at the output. How interesting and intuitive this output is. Very self-explanatory, very intuitive. Since we mentioned ordered equal to true, can you tell me what difference came out to be now? What thing was added with the word ordered equal to true? What thing was added in the output when I mentioned ordered equal to true? Ranked in reverse order, very good. Levels were added. Notice, Idris, right? Levels were added. You're right. By default, but notice what happened. It created levels. It created the levels wherein the order, because I mentioned ordered equal to true, the order was created, but I did not mention any logical order. So R has picked up alphabetic order. Is that clear? Default order for factor when you do not mention, because these are words. So by default, it has created a fact order in alphabetical manner. Clear? Right? So let's try creating the same variable. Sorry, let's try by creating a same factor. Sorry, yeah, same. Uh, let's try creating another factor variable wherein I mention ordered equal to false and look at the difference in the output. What happened? Don't. Okay. Can you see the difference? Okay. Another good habit is when you're working on R, keep clearing the console. Clearing console is not going to clear the global environment, but it's going to, if you don't clear console, it's going to, there are going to be piled up too many commands and it's going to slow the system, slow R in, uh, after some time, or maybe when you have too many lines. So how do you clear console? Control L. Type Control L and don't get scared that all the codes are deleted. The global environment still holds intact. Only the short-term memory gets erased. Okay? So Control L. Did you try Control L? Once you do Control L, if you want to bring the cursor back to the script writer, right? Script window. Control 1 will bring the cursor back to the first window. Control 2 will bring the cursor back to console. Control 1 will again bring it back to first window. Okay. Now this is my first output and this is my second output. Did you notice the difference between first and second output? What is the difference? Who will tell me? Only order is not mentioned because I mentioned ordered equal to false. I put ordered equal to false, so there is no logical order R can put. I have specifically mentioned that don't put it in order. That's it. So that is why it is not using alphabetical also as a order. Is that clear? Everyone, it is clear. Line number 202 is clear to all of you? Right? Okay, great. So let's check the class of both status and status 1. It is very interesting. Look at the class. One of them says ordered factor, the other says factor. Is this clear? Clear to all of you? Okay. Now, when I ask the value of status, right? See, it has put these elements in alphabetical order. It is showing some order, right? Wherein excellent is the least, improved is the next level, and poor is greater than improved and excellent, right? But logically, when you talk of, let's say these three are grades or levels or grades rather, right? Do you think logically it's a correct order? If suppose these are grades, do you think logically it's the correct order? Excellent is least and poor is the maximum. No, right? What should be the logical order? Who will tell me what should be the logical order? You can type it using comma also. Poor, improved, and excellent, right? PIE, right? Correct? That should be the logical order, right? I can define the order. I can define the order that I really want in the factor using the by adding the argument. See, till here you know, right? Till here you know. I add the levels. I'll add levels as a vector. Notice the C. And then I mention the levels in the order I want to be: poor, improved, and excellent. R is going to pick them in the order. R is going to uh, put put them in order of the way in which it is mentioned in the levels. To create the factor, we need to create a vector. Is that correct? Uh, till now, yes. But when you will import data from external sources, then you need not specifically be creating a vector. But yeah, till now I can say yes, to create a factor variable, you should have a vector. Okay? But don't take it as a pervasive statement, or it will be applicable anytime. Okay? Okay. So try this. Try creating this. Line number 220 and 221. And let's call the value of status 3. Notice that I have mentioned the levels, but I mentioned ordered equal to false. So it is not giving me an output with the uh, order, right? With the order, it is not giving me the output with the order. It is only mentioning the levels: poor, improved, and excellent. It is just mentioning the levels. When I put ordered equal to true, then it mentions the levels with the order. Is that clear? Difference between status 3 and status 4 is clear to all of you? Try writing till 2 to 4. Once you're done till 2 to 4, type 2 to 4 in the chat window. Once you're done till 2 to 4, type 2 to 4 in the chat window. Okay, great. Now, once you're done with 2 to 4, yeah, we'll just break. Give me 2 more minutes. We'll be done with this, right? Okay, I think we'll take some more time. We have to do functions. We'll do functions later. Okay, we'll take 15 minutes break. Okay, let's take a 15 minutes break and then we'll continue. We are going to create the factor levels, right? So let's take a break. So how is the session going? Are you, of course, you can definitely mention in the poll. And as I mentioned, I'm again repeating, I am pulling you out of the comfort zone. Remember that, because that is where your learning is going to be maximized. Okay. So don't think that I am going fast, or maybe I'm not waiting. Sometimes I do get these messages, right? But the purpose is only that you pick up with speed also. Otherwise, I will not have that opportunity to speed you up. Okay. So Yeah, I'm just, Dipali, just hold on. Missed the half lecture of Monday and yesterday. Dipali, please cope up. You'll have to cope up on your own using by looking at the videos, right? Yeah, of course. You just go through the videos and then ask me doubts wherever you have. Okay, but don't. I mean, that's not possible, Dipali. That I repeat half of the previous lectures. That's not possible practically, right? So the poll is open for all of you. Please do participate in the poll. Let us know how did you do in terms of pace and delivery. And I'm going to see you in 15 minutes. I'm going to put a timer for 15 minutes and I'll share the uh, timer on the screen. Please do come back as per. Okay, I put a timer for 16 minutes. Please do come back as per the timer. The timer has already started and I put the timer on the screen. Sahil, I understand that. See, there are two ways. Sahil, are you there? Right. See, there are two ways. I can slow down my speed, and as I told you initially, the content for a open source is there's no end, right? If I keep a slow pace, see, I'm not saying I'm going to. I told you. Remember, my mark my words. I will not leave you, but for that you have to tell me, okay, sir, please wait for some time. I will always wait for you. But if I just go at a slow speed, right, in the long run, it's going to, and believe you me, it's my experience. Out of my experience, I know what is the ideal speed I should be maintaining, right? Of course, you can always tell me. I am not saying that don't tell me that to stop or don't. You can always tell me, can you please wait? I will always wait, right? But I want that your speed should be the way you are writing, it should be such that you otherwise you'll know when you're learning something, of course, if you're on your own you will be writing it slowly. That is the advantage I can give you by having a live class. Otherwise you can see the recordings. At what pace you will go? If you're seeing the recording, it will be at your comfortable pace. Are you getting it, Sahil? I hope you got my point, right? Otherwise, I can go slow, right? So don't. Whenever you think you have couple of lines to write and I'm moving ahead, just mention, please, sir, can you wait for some time? I will give you time. That is my promise, right? But understand, yeah, you can always tell me. Yeah, you can always tell me. Yeah, you can tell me to wait or slow down on a particular position. I can do that, right? So don't worry on that. The message has to come from you, okay? But at the same time, it should be not. I mean, every class. I mean, because I really want you to pick up also with pace, right? So that's the only intent. I know, and of course, it's going to help every one of us if we are able to cover more and more. That will help all of you, right? So I would really want try and cover lubricate also in the last session if possible, right? Okay, so on that note, we'll take a break quickly and come back as per the timer. 13 minutes for me as well. So let me come back in 13 minutes. Hello. Hello everyone. Am I audible? Okay, great. So let's start. So we know now how to create a factor variable and how to uh, customize the order, right? I can also generate factor levels using GL command. GL means generate the factor. Command generates the factor by specifying the pattern of the levels. So here 4 means the number of factors you want to create, which are determined in the labels. 4 labels, 4 levels. So 4. 5 means how many times you want these levels to be repeated to create a vector. Is that clear? Now this is not used, this command is not used much, but yeah, this is another way you can create a vector, or sorry, create a factor variable and define the elements. Is that clear? So I'll repeat, GL command can be used. First you mention the factor levels, how many factor levels you want to create, then how many times you want each factor level to be repeated to create the factor variable or to create the vector. Is that clear? Then you mention the labels, and then in the end you mention ordered equal to true, right? So quickly do this, create this using GL command and look at this CTS, and if I check the class, it's going to come to be ordered factor. Is this clear? Once you're done till 239, type 239 in the chat window. Don't write the comments. I will be sharing these files. Okay, don't worry on that. Once you're done till 239, type 239 in the chat window. Yes, class is factor ordered. It should come ordered factor. Sakti, look at my screen. Look at the console on my screen. It should come out to be ordered factor because we have mentioned ordered equal to true. Okay. What about others? Okay, done. 239. Quickly. Okay, 239 is done. Once you're done till 239, create. Let's see how do we handle NA and null. How does NA and null impact? NA, first of all, the difference between NA and null. Who will tell me the difference between NA and null? Let me see who all knows the difference between NA and null. NA means not. Can I start with NA and null? Nobody responded to me. I told you to not. NA means not available, right? And null means absence of anything. NA means missing data, right? And null means absence of any data, right? So there is a difference between missing data and absence of any data, right? Missing data means you could not gather the data. Absence means there was nothing in it. Okay. So let's create a variable z wherein you have two NAs. Create this variable z, line number 248, quickly. Two 48. Done. Okay. Check whether there is any NA using the command is dot NA. Is dot NA. Is there any NA? So each element it's going to check and give you the answer. See, each element it is checking and giving you false, true, false accordingly. Got it? Then let's create another variable z1. Any NA for z will give you true. Means, is there any NA in z? This is another command, right? Any NA. The first one was is NA. It is going to check each element. Any NA will check whether there is any NA in z or not. Is this clear? Then create a variable z1. Quickly, we have to be a little bit fast. Create a variable z1 and notice when I call the value of z1, it will just, because there is absence of anything, right? There was nothing there. So it gave me all the values excluding null. Okay? Because there was nothing there in those positions. So it will just remove those positions. Okay? Now if I create a vector null or create a variable null and call the value, sorry, it will come out to be null. is null, just the way we did is NA, check is null, and you'll get a answer as true. Yes, there is null in Z2, right? Is this clear? Now let's create a variable A. 1 to 10 and try these basic functions: mean, sum, median, nchar. You'll be able to do all of them. Mean of A, sum of A, median A, and nchar. Done? Others? Once you're done till 272, please type line number 272. Once you're done till 272, type 272 in the chat window. Okay. Great. Thanks for confirming. So we are going to do functions in some time. Right now, what we're going to do is, okay, we'll do functions, custom defined functions later. But yes, this is what we continue with. Let me copy this and paste it here. It will be better. Okay. Inserting a value of A with NA. Now, I know in A, fifth position is there, right? I Now, if I want to insert NA on this fifth position, or sorry, fourth and sixth position, I can wait. Yeah, I can use this line number 281, inserting values in A with NA. Fourth and sixth position, I will be inserting NA using line number 279. Quickly do it and check the value of A again. Two 279 once you're done. Similarly, you can insert the values for Y. I mean, don't do it for Y, it's the same thing, right? So don't do it for Y. Don't create Y and do it, it's the same thing, right? Now what I want you to do is calculate the mean of A and check. Are you able to calculate the mean of A? If you run, it comes out to be NA, right? If I write mean of A, it comes out to be NA. So we have an argument for, in fact, this argument is there for all the functions, wherein if you have NA dot RM equal to true is going to remove NAs and calculate the mean. Try this. Is this clear? Very good, right? So next, what we are going to do is we are going to start with data frame. Functions we will do, don't worry, right? We will start with data frames and matrix. That what we have to do today, right? So let's start with data frame quickly, and logical operators and conditional statements we are going to do tomorrow, and functions also, right? So let's start with data frame. Okay, before we do data frame, let's start with matrices. That will be better. So matrices, all of you know what are matrices in mathematics? Sometime you would have done way back. Yeah, right, it is. Matrices are objects in which elements can be arranged in a 2D arrangement, means rows and columns, right? 2D rectangular layout. They have a 2D rectangular layout. In matrices, all elements should be of same data type. Again, it's kind of an extension of a array. Sorry, yeah, it's kind of an extension of a vector, but in vector is a one dimensional and matrix is a two dimensional. Though you can have non-numeric data in matrix, but that does not make sense, right? Usually we will see only numeric data in matrices. Is that clear? Syntax for matrix. Let's see the syntax for matrix quickly. To create a matrix, we are going to use the command matrix. Then we are going to define the elements 1 to 10, and then I mention how many rows should be created. N row equal to how much. Similarly, n, if you want to define n call, you can write n call equal to true. Okay, is this clear? These are, you have to either mention n row or n call. Is that clear? If I look at, please create a matrix. Create a matrix A, line number 23. Keep mentioning the line number, Kanupriya, right? 23, just mention so that I get an idea, because done and yes are anyway so many, it get mixed up, right? 23. Those who are done with 23, check the value in 24 as well. So 23 and 24. Good. Did you see how the output came out to be? Can you tell me what are these? Sorry. Can you tell me what are these? Index of columns and rows, isn't it? And it means, this means uh, this means, what does this mean? First row and all the elements in first row, right? Yes, clear? What does this mean? Not just column, column 2, second column, yes. Okay, got it? Why there is a blank before the comma and after the comma? All of you got this? Okay, let's create another matrix B which has elements from 21 to 30. Done. I can add names. Let me share these names using the by creating a vector. Notice I have created a vector, row names and call names. I can use these to create the variable, create the names of the create the names for the rows and columns in matrix. Okay, so I have created row names and column names vectors. Now I'm going to use these to create another vector having 3 columns and 5 rows, right? So create a vector P, line number 35 and 36. Now here I'm using a command dim names and also using a command by row. First understand these and then write. By row means I want these values to be written by rows. So the values will come by rows 5, 15, 25. Okay, 35, 45, 55 and so on. Is that clear? How the values will come? By row. N row I mentioned. I want I want 5 rows, right? And 3 columns, correct. So the values are going to come 5, plus 10, yeah, 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55 and so on. Is that clear? Also I am mentioning an argument dim names means dimension names equal to list. I am specifying the list wherein I mention the row names and column names. Is this clear? Line number 35 and 36. If it is clear, dim names, it says, oh, must be a vector. Huh? Oh, okay, I did not mention this. These are vectors only. Yeah. Purva, sequence, we have done it earlier. We did sequence now. Starting, it creates a sequence starting from 5, ending till 150 with a skip of 10. Is that clear? So values, you can just run this and see what values are coming. Got it? Once you have created a vector P, once you have created a matrix P, line number 137, type line number 37 in the chat window. Please type 37 in the chat window. You can mention call also. I can mention either of these, Idris. I can mention n call also, n call equal to 3. Then also I'll get the same response, same output. Okay, either of these you can mention. Okay, those who have got till 37. Now, those who are done till 37, try 40, 41, 42. Very easy. N row is going to give you the number of rows. N call is going to give you the number of columns. And dim is going to give you the dimension, means rows and columns both. Amatullah, just run. I think you also did not run 32 and 33. I also got the same error. Run 32 and 33. See, I was also getting a same error. Then I ran these 2 lines. I had run these 2 lines and then it was fixed. Okay. Basically, it is I think it did not run properly, 32 and 33, if you tried running it. Got it? Once you're done till 42, type 42 in the chat window. Okay, those who are done till 42, now try accessing a value from matrix using very similar to what we have done earlier also, line number 47, 48, and 50 and 52. You will, I mean, they are self-explanatory. I am mentioning the dimension of the value that I want to extract. What will line 50 generate? Let me see who can tell me. What will line 50 generate? Fourth row. I don't want the values. You can just type, yeah, fourth row, right? Correct, Idris, you're right. Fourth row and then third column. Once you're done till 52, type 52 in the chat window. Okay, good. Good. Now, with matrix, I can apply mathematic functions like sum, multiply, sum, multiplication, addition, right? Sorry, subtraction. So mathematical operations we are going to see. Create a matrix and name it as capital C, line number 56. Create a matrix with values 35 to 44. And the dimensions of the matrix should be 5 rows and 2 columns. Done. Dimensions of A. Did you check? 5 and 2. Very good. Now, create another matrix wherein we are adding A and C. Create a matrix G by adding A and C. So, each element of A will be added with the corresponding element of C. Notice A and C has same dimensions. That is why addition can only happen if they have the same dimension. If the dimension is not the same, matrix addition cannot happen. Okay? Similarly, multiplication. A multiplied by C, line number 67. Once you're done till 68, let me know. Type 68 in the chat window. Okay, great. Good. Then testing the equality, you can test the equality also on, it can apply on matrix wherein each element will be tested with the corresponding element A to C. Okay. After this, transpose. Transpose can be done using a small t. Applying a small t to the matrix will give you transpose. So transpose, when you transpose it, the dimensions of G, that is the transposed matrix, will reverse. Is it done? Line number 82. Good. Thanks, Kanupriya. I'll wait for some more to response. Okay. We'll wait for a couple of more responses on 82. Once you're done till 82, type 82 in the chat window. Okay, great. Dot matrix. Do you know what is dot product? Sorry. Do you know what is dot product? Yes, some of you would be knowing. I don't think all of you would be knowing. Those who don't know dot product, can you type D in the chat window? Don't know. Type D. Okay. Don't know. Lot of you don't know. Okay. Quickly, I'm going to explain. See, we don't have lot of time, but I'll quickly explain this. Right? Suppose I'm just explaining it. Suppose I have a matrix A. Right? This is matrix A, wherein it has some values to. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? This is our matrix. Quickly, can you tell me what is the dimension of this? Okay, 3 into 2, right? Three rows and 4 columns. Now, dot product is a special kind of multiplication that happens only in matrix, wherein a matrix A can be multiplied with matrix B only when the number of number of columns of 1 of A is equal to number of rows of B. Okay? Is this clear? This is the condition that there can be a dot matrix when number of columns of first is equal to number of rows of second. Now, a final output is created which will have, and it will be created, let's say C gets created, which is the final matrix. It will be 3 into 3, means 3 rows and 3 columns will be created. How does it get created? Let's see. First element will be multiplied with first element, and then basically a summation will get be done for multiplying. So first element will be 1 into 3 plus 2 into 4. Is that clear? That will be the first element of the matrix. Second will be 1 into 5 plus 2 into 6. Are you getting it? 1 into 5 I should not be actually doing it because it will take a lot of time, but anyways, we'll cover up later. Third element will be 1 into 7 plus 2 into 8. So it will be 1 into 7 plus 2 into 8. Okay? And this way, then you are going to take up 3 and 4 and again multiply it in the same way. 3 into 3 plus 4 into 4. So here it will come 3 into 3 plus 4 into 4. Then 3 into 5 plus 4 into 6. Are you getting it? Those who are doing it for the first time, are you getting this? Right? And similarly, it will be 3 into 7 plus 4 into 8. It will be 3 into 7 4 into 8. And similarly, the third element will be Dipali, I will not repeat this, to be frank. Because this is not part of a curriculum. You can maybe check. This is a special type of multiplication called dot multiplication for matrix. Because I am not repeating it, it's not part of our curriculum. You can check how it is done on maybe internet. Okay, but so that is how you create a matrix. Resultant matrix will be of the dimension 3 and 3. You just remove the middle ones, 3 by 3. Okay, so that is what dot product is, and dot product can be created for the matrix using two percentages and a star in between. So this will create a dot product. Okay, this will create a dot product for A and G. Notice it would come out to be like this. So our A had a dimension of 5 by 2 and G had a dimension of 2 by 5. Right? So 2 and 2 got cancelled and your dimensions for the resultant matrix would be 5 by 5. Is that clear? Okay. Right? Okay. Now I can add column names, row names. This is already done, so I'm just skipping this. Column names and row names we have already done, right? Then very interestingly, letters. If I just write letters in caps, it's going to give me all the caps letters. Letters in small, R is going to give me all the small letters. Okay, so this is just adding row name and column name. I'm leaving it. Then dot matrix or your dot multiplication again, right? We'll leave this. So that is pretty much for matrix. I'm going to come back on apply shortly, right? First, let's start with data frame. Very important. We have to complete this data frame, and after that, I'm going to come on apply. Maybe or we'll do this tomorrow if we don't get time. Okay. Apply is a family of functions that can be applied on matrix as well as on um, vectors and arrays and data frames also, right? So we'll see this apply. First, let's come to data frame, which is very important. Now, from the perspective of data analytics, matrix was not that important, right? Yeah, of course, I did cover it, and that is why I did not spend much time on it. Now, this is the most important data type because this is the data type you are going to be dealing with every time you are doing a data analysis. Okay, data frames. What are data frames? Data frames are rectangular data structures similar to spreadsheet. All of you know what is spreadsheet? All of you know what is a spreadsheet? Yes. So any data which is in the form of spreadsheet, what is how it would be? Rows and columns. It would have rows and columns, isn't it? Any data, yeah, 2D, right? In a 2D structure, in R we call it as data frame. Okay, it allows storage in columns. Now this is very interesting and something you would really want to uh, be sensitized about. Data frames allow storage in columns of different types of data. Have you seen some data set always? I mean, have you seen some data set? Let me show you a data set. This is a data set, right? So it has, okay, it has only same type of data, numeric, but the data set usually are not like this, that every time they have numeric. There can be some character variable also. There can be some logical variable also in between, isn't it? Or I can just put car name here, then it becomes a character variable, isn't it? Right? So what is it saying? Allows storage in columns of different types of data. So different types of data can be stored in a data frame. Unlike vector, wherein only one type of data could be stored. Right? Everyone with me? Different types of data can easily coexist in a data frame. Just think of it like any data set that you have seen in an Excel sheet. There can be different types of data. They can easily coexist. Like numeric, character, date, logical, factor, all can coexist together. Okay, you can access to individual item or individual column or rows or even cells. We'll see how we can access that. Most common type of data structure that you're going to deal with. That is why I said it's very important. It can be created using the function data.frame, right? So what I want you to do is I'm sharing this. These are simply we are creating three vectors x, y, and z. I'm sharing these. Please create these three vectors x, y, and z. Now, before we start with the command data frame, run these three x, y, and z. Run it and check whether the value has appeared in the global environment or not. Capital X, capital Y, and capital Z should be there. Okay. So before we create a data frame, there are two functions called cbind and rbind. Right? Notice cbind means column bind. binding X, Y, Z in a columnar format, in column format. cbind is going to bind X, Y, Z in a column format. Notice how the output will appear. It has bound, it has binded rather X, Y, and Z in a column format. Did you try cbind? If you have tried cbind, try rbind also and look at the difference in the output. Rbind is going to give you output like this. It has binded the data, binded X, Y, and Z in a column, sorry, in rows. Clear? If you check the class of these two, it will come out to be matrix array. Isn't this a matrix format? Some rows and columns. Once you're done till 29, type 29 in the chat window. We'll wait for others to respond. $29 done. Okay, great. Thanks for the response. Now we'll create a data frame from XYZ and we'll see how the difference is when you do a column binder. Create this data frame called CTRY, or you can create any other name, but prefer if you do the same name, then there will be no confusion. CTRY-DF, country DF. Create a data frame country DF using the command data.frame, and let's call country DF. Can you see a neat layout of rows and columns? Once you're done, line number 37, I am picking a value which is the first row and third column. So it will pick USA, first row and third column. Okay. Another very interesting command which is new now is view. Line number 39. Capital view starts with capital V. View country DF. And when you view it, notice how you can view a data, any data. When you view it, it will open in a spreadsheet kind of a format with rows and columns. Check the class. Once you're done till class, type 41. View, class, okay, great. I can, just like I did it earlier also, like the naming for matrix, I can create a name for the columns also this way. Data.frame, within data.frame, I mention count is equal to X, country name is equal to Z, and GDP is equal to Y. This is going to give the names to column X, Y, and Z. This way you can give the name to the columns. Once you're done till 46, type 46 in the chat window. Okay, now if I want a variable name, a variable to be published, or a variable, if I want to pick up a variable, I can use an extension dollar. Notice how it will be written. See, CTRY. As I write dollar, can you see the extensions? All the three extensions come up as I write dollar. Yes. Now, the purpose of this is that you do not get into the habit of writing the variable names on your own. Mind this, this is a very important sentence and it will really minimize your errors. Do not get into the habit of writing. You just write dollar and then pick up. Okay? And when you do this and you run this code, you will get all the names of countries. Similarly, you can try for count and GDP. You can try the extension for this. Now, after that, we are going to check the class of each of the three variables. After class, you will mention the data frame name, dollar, the variable name. And when you check the class, it will come out to be integer for count, character for country name, and numeric for GDP. Always make sure that whenever you import a data or a data frame, right, check the class, but make sure do not rely that R is picking up the right class. There will be instances wherein you will have to change the class. Okay, 56. If you are done, let me know. Very good. Now, one of the most important functions that you will always run whenever you deal with data frame is structure. The function is written as str, and then after str you mention the name of the data frame. This is one of the very important function, and you will see whenever you import a data set, structure and summary, these are the two functions that you will be definitely running. Notice the output of structure. It gives you a glimpse of how the data set looks like. 10 observations, 3 variables, count is there, country name is there, and GDP is there. Notice the data type, integer, character, and numeric, and then you have the elements in each variable. Is that clear? When we are going to um, do more uh, imports, we will be using structure every time. Okay. Okay. Next important thing is strings as variables. Okay. Uh, Fine. So we will complete data frame. Fine. Okay. Strings as variables or strings as factors. Now this is interesting and important also, right? There is a command called strings as factors, right? Within the data frame, this is a command you will see. Let me show it to you. If I take help and data dot frame, right? Let's see the help. This strings as factor equal to is a argument within this data dot frame command. Okay, or within data dot frame function, these are the arguments, and you can see strings as factor. It's a logical argument because you can either put it as false or true, right? Now, using strings as factor equal to false means, notice, strings as factors means use string variables as factor variables. If you want all the string variables to be used as factor variables, you will write this as true. Are you getting it? If you don't want them to be used as factor variables, rather you want them to be used as string variable or character variable, you will write this as false. Is that clear? Is this clear? We'll see this with the help of example. But first tell me, is this clear? Using strings as equal factor equal to false prevents conversion of character into factor. Now actually what happens is, when you don't mention this strings as factor equal to true, right? Mm, Earlier what used to happen was, actually why did it come to existence? See, right now when I ran this data frame on country 3, character variable appeared as character only. Yes, right? Did you notice country name character, right? What used to happen earlier was, when you ran data.frame, automatically character variables used to be converted into factor variable. This was the property. You can say whenever you wrote data.frame, this used to happen. This was inbuilt in data.frame, which has been not corrected, which has been changed rather recently, some years back, right? So earlier, all the string variables would be converted into factor variable when you uh, create a data frame. Okay. So to avoid converting that into factor variable, we used to mention strings as factor equal to false. Within data frame, we used to mention this, right? If I don't want these to be converted, if I want them to be converted into factor variable, I would not mention anything. But if I don't want them to be converted into character variable or to factor variable, I would mention string as factor equal to false. Okay. Now what has happened is they have changed it. Now the data dot frame does not convert it. You can see I ran data dot frame. We ran it. It came out with to be it this it came out with a character variable rather than factor variable, right? So now it's our discretion. If I don't mention anything, it will turn out to be character variable. If I want it to be a factor variable, I would mention strings as factor equal to false along within data dot frame. Is this clear? Is this point clear? Strings as factor equal to true or false, right? So write line number 170 and 71 and 72. and see what happens when you get the output. Output is fine, but let me get the structure of this. If I ask for structure of CTR DF2, can you see country name now? Did you see country name? It says now the string variable has been converted into a factor variable. There are 10 levels. There were 10 countries, no country repeated. So 10 level means 10 countries, and then it mentions the countries. Okay. And then it mentions the levels. Alphabetically, it has created a level. So USA appears on the list as 10. China appears first because alphabetically these 10 countries, China would be ranked first. Is this clear? Okay. Now class. If I check the class of country, you can see it would come out to be factor. Okay. Class of, okay. Now I create another variable country df2 wherein I do not mention anything about string as factor. And when I check the class of country name, this time it comes to be character variable. Is this clear? Please do it. Well, I'll take 5 more minutes to wrap it up, and then tomorrow we will continue. 5 more minutes. Please bear with me. 5 more minutes. Okay. Not much is left. Okay. Is this clear? Strings as factor equal to true or false. When do we put? Okay, great. Now, since you have created a data frame, n row is going to give you the number of rows. N col is going to give you the number of columns. Very simple. We have been doing this, right? With matrix also. And dim is going to give you both rows and columns. Next. N column for X. X is my, see, X has rows but no columns. So n col X will be null. And n row X will be null because vectors do not have rows and columns. It appears that it is like a row, but it does not have rows and columns. It only has individual elements. So when you try n col and n row on a vector, it is going to give you a null. But initially this used to happen, right? But now I think they later on realized that yes, you can call this a row and you can call these having 10 columns, isn't it? So there is a safety function capital N row and capital N call. When you put capital N row and capital N call on X, it's going to give you the rows as well as columns. Please try capital N row and capital N column. After that last thing, and then we'll close for today. Once you have done n row and n call in caps, just type the names of country df2, that is your data frame. It's going to give you all the names of the variables. Kanupriya, try names. And names with a box bracket. It's going to give you names with a box bracket is going to give you the element that you mention in the box bracket. Is this clear? You can also view it. Row names, you can get the row names and then you can view this view country df. Once you're done till 116, type 116 in the chat window and then we close. Let others also type 116. Okay, good, good, good. Right? So we will close data frame here, and there are some exercises I've given, assignments. I don't know if, yeah, I'll be sharing these files now, right? I hope I will be able to, and the things are fixed now. So now tomorrow we will do logical operators, conditional statements, then functions, then apply function, and uh, importing is very important. We'll start with importing from external sources tomorrow. Okay? Is this clear to all of you? Perfect then. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you same time. Ahamika, can you hear me? Ahamika, can you hear me? Okay, those who want to leave can leave. I will share the files and then you can check the community forum, right? In some time. Ahamika, can you hear me? I think Ahamika is not there. I'm not able to hear her. So I'm just trying if I can share the files in the community forum. Ahamika, Ahamika, okay. You have shared the community forum link. Okay, Ahamika, can you? Okay, I can post now. Perfect. So I can post. I'm posting it. You can check all the files in 5 minutes. Okay. Till then, take care. Goodbye. We'll continue tomorrow.
So click one second. Thank you everyone for participation, and thank you everyone for your time and effort to join the session. And the feedback link we do not have as of now, but please do not worry. In your LMS only you will be able to see the feedback link just after the ending the session. You can take your time and take the feedback, and please do provide us 5 if you really loved the session. For anything less than 5, please do provide your valuable feedback in the chat, in the comment. Thank you everyone. Have a great day and have a great night. Bye bye.